I worked there for 3 years. My profession is a science teacher. I teach biology up to A level. After about 3 years, teaching in England is not easy. I find there's a very big shift on the focus to classroom management, as opposed to here the focus on teaching and learning. Managing discipline issues is the main thought in your mind when you are teaching in the UK. Here we can actually focus on teaching and learning. So I was already thinking about living in the UK and going to teach somewhere else. I've been on holiday to Egypt 4 or 5 times and I liked the place. I've been to Alexandria, so I decided, well, I'd really like to sort of look. So I looked online for any teaching jobs, and I was lucky to find a new school in Alexandria that was just opening up. So I was part of the first year of opening up a school in Alexandria, teaching science and maths, which was a very different experience for me. We started with 20 students, now it's quite successful. After that I felt that my time in that school was finished, and I decided that I would really like to come towards the Red Sea. Not that easy living as a foreigner in Alexandria, so I wanted to come to somewhere that's a little bit more international. And I applied, well, I went for an interview in Sharm el-Sheikh, and I had an interview here, but as soon as I came here, I really liked the ethos of the school. It had a very British element to it. They were expecting me to teach as I would in the UK, same standards, and that was really important to me. I didn't want to just have a nice life and enjoy the social aspect of being here. I wanted somewhere where I could progress in my career and where teaching and learning was valued. So that was very important. When I came to this school, I've been here now, this is my 7th year at this school. I came as science and math teacher, and then I became deputy head of secondary, and then last year I was made the head of international secondary. It's very interesting because I kind of have my own ideas about why there is this difference, because in the UK we have free school education, so everybody has to go to school, whereas here parents are paying. So you have very strong support from the parents, and they are paying for their child's education. Education is very highly regarded in Egypt, and that ethos is passed on to the children. So they come to school with an understanding that it's very important, that they need it, and their family are completely behind them. So they are very keen, as much as students can be, to do their work well, to complete their homework, and it's backed up from home, and it makes such a big difference. Also, teachers, I feel, are quite highly regarded here. We're treated very respectfully, and there is the same respect from the children that we also get from the parents. And it makes such a big difference in the classroom. Obviously, children are children, you have minor disciplines, but the respect is there. So it really makes for a pleasant teaching environment. You actually enjoy your teaching. And I think if you're a good teacher, the students know it and the students respond well. And you really get their support back. It's very good. I think here in Gouna we have a slightly different issue than we had in Alexandria. Gouna can, though it's a beautiful, beautiful place, you're often in danger of having people that want to come to do their diving, to do their kite surfing, and their main focus therefore might not be their work. So on the one hand, it's really difficult to attract people where their main focus is going to be for their work. And it's quite hard to ensure that people maintain that focus the longer they're here. Whereas it's quite easy to get people to come here. We don't have the same problems they've had in Cairo and Alexandria with the revolution. We were very much protected here in Gouna. I think we were the only school in Egypt that didn't close for the revolution. So it has its plus and minuses. Some people find they settle very easily here. It's a very enjoyable place to work. It's, the students are very enjoyable to teach. But I also think if you've come here as young and single, there's not an awful lot of community to us. We have quite a big community, but not like a city. So there is a tendency for younger people to come for 2 or 3 years and think, right, it's my time to move on. Not because of the school, just because of their life. There's not an awful lot. Other people come here, they settle, they like it, particularly older people. You know, once people get to sort of, you know, my age and 40 plus, it's a very beautiful place to stay and work. Just depends on where people are in their lives. I don't have the same teaching timetable to what I used to. Obviously my teaching had to be reduced. But the best time is me teaching my students without doubt. Particularly year 10, year 11, they are so keen to learn. They give back so much. So really my time in the classroom is the best for me. Obviously we have school events, we take part in the beach clean-up, the Albury Marathon when it happens. Lots of events, the EGIS Got Talent, you know, very emotional time because you see them on the stage and it's amazing, you know, the talent the students have. I mean, my time here in the last 7 years has been fantastic, really good. I can't really pick out one memorable time.
So I've been qualified for 8 years. I did my teacher training in Cambridge, but I spent my whole career in London in quite difficult schools in the city, and it's quite challenging and quite tiring. And I really wanted the opportunity to try something different, to live abroad in a more peaceful, quiet, laid-back environment, just something totally different to what I'd done before. And when I was thinking about doing this, the opportunity presented itself at Gouna, and I thought, why not? I just turned 30, it seemed like a good opportunity, so I took it. I mean, in London, there are some brilliant children there, but there are quite a lot of children who do not want to learn. And that might be because they're from a difficult background, that they don't know their dad, or whatever. So in the first 2 or 3 years teaching in London, it was really about behaviour management. And after that I could relax a little bit, but it took a lot of effort to get to that stage. You're not given respect as a teacher, you have to earn it. And when you're new, and especially if you're from quite an educated background like me, a lot of the kids actually don't want to hear what you've got to say. The difference I would say over here is nearly all the pupils are polite and they respect you from the outset. And because they're better behaved, you can be more experimental and more interesting in your teaching from the start, whereas in England it takes quite a long time to be able to get to that stage. It happens to be that English is the most widely spoken language in the world, so if you leave with English qualifications, you can go to a top university in England or America. It opens more job opportunities too, so it's definitely beneficial. Example would be, I've got a fairly quiet group of pupils in year 8, and they're lovely, but I want them to kind of talk and communicate and be more engaged. And recently I got them to do role plays, and they really got into it, and when they presented it, they kind of came to life in a way that I hadn't seen before. I really like that. I feel maybe in England that the government and quite a lot of people don't respect teachers that much, and I think that's one of the big problems when it comes to behaviour management and that kind of thing. I think because teachers, I might be wrong, seem to be a little bit more respected over here, it makes our life a bit easier and we can relax and we can teach without as many barriers as we might have in England. In England, one of the problems is when Ofsted come, they are generally looking for particular things. And what happens in schools in the build-up to Ofsted is so much pressure is put on teachers that actually they can't relax, they can't enjoy teaching, and a lot of that pressure is transmitted to the kids, so they don't enjoy education either. So here there are pressures, but it's that little bit more relaxed, and that doesn't mean people aren't professional or they don't care. But if the teachers are more relaxed and there's less pressure from the government and Ofsted and the head teachers and the governors, then they can perform their job better, and they can relax a bit more, and the kids can enjoy learning more, and kids should enjoy learning. So I'd say that.